Hi everyone. So I wanted to do this video because I've been reading a lot of forums over the years and comments and blogs about scratches on Range Rover B-pillars and all these black pieces, the trims, these little black trims here. Now I've owned several Range Rovers. This one right here is a 2018 Range Rover Sport Dynamic. And this one actually came with a lot of scratches on the B-pillars already the day I received it. Same thing with the interior. I have piano black trim and it came with some pretty disappointing scratches on it the day I got it. So when you're paying for a luxury vehicle and you're paying a lot of money, you don't really expect that. But the unfortunate thing with these Range Rovers, that's just the way it is. They almost all come like that. So I did a lot of research online and I looked for solutions that, I could do. And it wasn't really easy. I searched for months and months. I never really found anything specific to Range Rovers, but I did see a lot of searches pertaining to Range Rovers from you guys. So I thought, since then I have found solutions, I have done them, they've worked, and I thought I would share it to alleviate some of the pain I went through trying to search for these myself. Now a lot of people might say, if you can spend this much money for a Range Rover, you can hire a detailer to fix it for you. Well, I'm pretty OCD, so I like to keep my cars spotless at all times, and I don't really want to have to pay every 3 months when I get one or two scratches or swirls on this pillar right here. I don't want to have to bring it in every time, so I figured, why not invest in the equipment, learn how to do it. If it's easy, I wasn't sure because I've never done this before. And then I could fix it every single time I want to and keep my car mint. Like many of you, I have no experience. I've never used a polisher in my life. I've never buffed a car. I didn't even know what these things were called a month ago. But now I feel pretty decently well versed in it. I've done a lot of research, and I wouldn't steer you guys wrong. I've actually done it myself. First time ever using this stuff in my life, and it worked flawlessly. That's the only reason I'm sharing it. And I have to say, do this at your own risk, but if I could do it, you guys can do it. So first things first, the equipment I've researched, you'll see a lot of professionals out there with these kind of videos. And when you watch those, I always thought yeah, they know how to do it. I'm going to screw it up. I don't even want to mess with this. I was assuming that, I'm going to try this, I'm going to create some huge deep scratches and swirls, and I'm going to wind up having to pay someone a lot of money or replace it. I was very worried about that because I'm thinking these guys are professionals, they do it every day, they know what they're doing. Not the case, as easy as pie. And I'll show you what I found, what I use, and I would recommend just using this because it worked for me. You guys can buy cheaper equipment, whatever, different things, but I can tell you this worked for me. And I'm an amateur with no experience, so I would recommend this for you. I purchased a orbital polisher, the Bigfoot. So this is the Roops LHR 75 orbital polisher. Ran me, I think, about $350. I know there's cheaper ones out there. I thought it was a good investment. It's highly rated. It's pretty user-friendly, and it worked for me. So, if you use this 2 or 3 times, it pays for itself. I used the D300, Meguiar's D300 correction compound for the pillars. And then Sonac's Perfect Finish for the interior trim. I use this on the center console, piano black trim. I read a lot of forums about the piano black trim, and most people say, oh, you got to replace it. You got to put, I forget what it's called, clear bra on top of it. You don't have to do that. So I use this Perfect Finish with a white polishing pad, 4-inch polishing pad. It came out perfect. By the way, I'm not going to do any of this today because I've actually already polished my whole entire car and I don't want to do it again just to show you. It would be good for effect so you guys know I actually did it, but if you're really interested, I may come back and do it again later when it needs it, but I don't want to over polish it. But I will show you what I did. So first things first, let's talk about the other equipment. You'll need microfiber pad or polishing cloths. Everybody should have these. You'll need a 4-inch white polishing pad and then a 4-inch yellow polishing or cutting pad. Now, one of the things I read along the way is that was recommended with the D300 correction compound was to use the microfiber cutting pads. I actually tried all three of these on the B pillars. The microfiber cutting pad was a little too harsh, created more swirls. It also caused me to have to do a second step and finish it up with the Sonax Perfect Finish and the white pad, the polishing pad. So I didn't like that solution. I wanted a one-step solution. Then I also tried just doing the B pillar with the Perfect Finish and the white pad. That wasn't quite enough. It didn't get out the deeper scratches and swirls. It did an okay job. So if you're okay with like a 70% correction, you could go at this, the Sonax Perfect Finish with the white pad. What I found to be the perfect solution was the D300 correction compound. There you go, in case you want to see it, with the yellow pad. One step, so I didn't have to do a polish after this. Applied this, polished it out, got out every scratch. I can't find anything, and every swirl. Left no residue, no filming, looked brand new. Like I said, didn't have to do another step after that. So to me, this is the perfect solution for the B pillars. So I use this on the door handles, I used it on my black mirrors, I used it on this trim right here and this. Everything, all the black trim on my car. I know on a lot of other blogs I've seen people don't know what this material is, whether it's plastic or paint, and they're afraid to use it. I've done it, didn't damage anything. There was a lot of residue on the pad, so it does take off some of the paint, but it didn't create any damage. It looks flawless. And I've actually done a couple of these more than once already. So I think, I wouldn't recommend doing it every week or every month, but I plan to probably do it twice a year to kind of keep it really nice. Because with these things, they're so sensitive that they're gonna scratch within weeks of polishing it. Like anytime you wash your car, even though you're very careful and you use microfiber pads, you're gonna scratch it every time you wipe it. It's very frustrating. I don't know why they use this material, but they do. So that's that. So the other thing I want to tell you guys about is the interior. So I have the piano black trim, which everyone comments about online. I'm not sure if you can see it from there. I'm by myself, so I can't zoom in. But the stuff looks amazing when it's brand new, but it's a maintenance nightmare. So I think I've mentioned this already a couple of times. This car came with the center console black piano trim scratch. I think when the detailers, they either pull off, I don't know if it comes with a film protective layer on top, or maybe they just wiped it down. It had like 3 or 4 deep scratches all the way down the center. It was just killed me. The day I got my car, like, it looks beautiful, everything's perfect. You go inside and you're like, what is this? And the dealer didn't offer to fix it for me, so I was forced to do research online and fix it myself. And again, when I did it, I was nervous, like you guys. I thought, I could totally destroy this thing, then it's going to cost me thousands to replace it, but I took the chance and it worked. So for the interior trim, I just used the very safe and soft white finishing pad with the Sonax Perfect Finish. And I've seen a lot of other videos online, so you should get the mini, the 2-inch, I think it's a 2-inch polisher. I use the 4-inch with the 4-inch pad. It actually fits perfectly right on here. It actually takes up almost the whole center console. Went up and down lightly. One time, flawless. I was so impressed. Like, it looked brand new. And now I'm just very careful around it. I try not to scratch it, but I know I'm gonna have to do it again in a year. So, for maybe everything you see here, $400 investment, I can now maintain my car myself. I can do it as often as I want to, but with caution that you don't want to eat up all the clear coat and destroy the actual paint. So you don't want to do it like every month, but I now have this for life. I can maintain my vehicle. I don't have to pay a fortune to detailers. Okay, so that's how I maintain my 2018 Range Rover Sport. I hope these tips help you to maintain your Range Rover, whatever version you have of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them, and I may even do a future video as a follow-up to show you how I actually use the polisher if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and aloha.